This is the MTPredictor Weekly Market Update for December 9th. So we are rapidly heading into the end of the year here, and interesting times obviously with the supposed fiscal cliff at the end of the year here, and lots of other stuff going on. But let's just kind of backtrack a little bit and see what we look for here pattern-wise. Now this is the S&P. Going back, you see we had this pattern. If I put the Elliott wave analysis, you can see that the clear 5-wave pattern down here with a decision point. This DP is a buy signal, and what this signal is looking for is after we've gone this 5-wave pattern down, we anticipate a correction, that the market will correct back up into this wave 4, what we call decision point. So I take my decision point tool here, and it gives us, this is the target area. If this is a potential bottom here, we expect the market to rally here. So here we had this red high volume spike at here at the bottom, right on this gray candle here. Now people assume as they take this last swing low out to the bottom, you've got people that are looking to sell this breakdown. And typically what happens, especially at the end of a trend like this, is the professionals like to step in and trap them in that area, which they did in this particular case. And that's what that little high volume spike, little red bar there, is giving us a heads up that this may not be selling volume, but in fact buying volume. It's confirmed when we get our blue buyers candle. Here that tells us that the buyers are now overcoming the sellers in the support area. So this is a good bottoming pattern that we would expect to correct back to this wave 4 decision point area here. And the market did in fact come back and correct back into that area. Once we get into this area, we call it a decision point because the market needs to make a decision. If this area holds as resistance, then the trend, which was down prior, should continue down. If they take this area out to the upside, then what we're looking for is this whole 5-wave pattern down to get erased, and we can track back to the here's wave 1 to the top of wave 1, and we would take a decision point off of the top of wave 1, and you'll see as we move forward in time that that area will become apparent up in this area around that 1420 area. If they take this wave 4 decision point out and the market decides to move higher, this DP off the wave 1 will then become the target. So if we kind of move forward in time here, you see here's the area here. So the market came up into this decision point resistance area. Just going to extend the box there a little bit. All right. Again, this is the area the market needs to make a decision. If this area holds as resistance, again, we expect the trend to continue down. If they take it out to the upside, here's our target above 1420 here in the S&P, and this is the December contract. So you can see we got a first close above that resistance area, all right, and then that high got taken out. That's in a sense pointing us upward. So now we expect this area has given way as resistance, and we expect that this whole 5-wave pattern down is going to get wiped out to the upside. Okay, and so this is why we came into that major resistance area here, and then we expect to get some type of correction now, a pullback, and then that unfolded as we come closer to where we are currently into this scenario. So we had a major resistance area here. Obviously they couldn't get through that. They bounced a couple times, another lower high here. But if we look at this, how did that unfold? We see the 5-wave pattern down again. So again, we go back to the wave 4 decision point because this is typically where the market will correct back to. So you see we've come better than halfway about to that 1420 area. We've hit that area a couple of times, pulled back but not much, and have retested again as of Friday, retested that 1420 area. I haven't closed above it yet. You can see we haven't closed above 1420 yet here in the December contract. If we do, get a close and that high gets taken out, then chances are we'll see that wave 4 DP, which I'm looking to see that if they can just finish off that last bit of rally into Christmas here. And then this area will be significant around this decision point. Again, the market will need to make a decision. If we go up to the weekly chart, because the potential, what we have, if we look at the weekly chart here, here was our major top, which is a wave 5 top. Again, here's our wave 4. We expect or anticipate that we could correct back to this wave 4 DP on the weekly chart. Again, this is bigger picture stuff. Obviously, we haven't gotten there yet, and we're anticipating this rally to finish off back up in this 1420 area-ish. All right, but what can happen here now is, because we've got this wave 5 top, this is a significant high. This then could be a potential wave 1. In other words, we could be developing a trend in the other direction, in the downward direction here. And this is just the first leg. This would be a corrective potential wave 2, and then there could be a big move to wave 3 down, which would probably take us into this wave 4 DP. So we haven't quite, we can project where the wave 2 comes in using the tools and the software here. I gotta go up wave 2. I only need to make 2 clicks. 1, 2. So we're in that area now. The question is, like I said, I expect we get a little further into this area, into that daily wave 4 DP area, and then the market. This is going to be, especially if it's, if we get this year over, let's say we finish off a rally into the end of the year. Now we're going to have the market in a bit of a precarious position. If this area holds as resistance, we could get a big move down, a big wave 3. If this ends up being wave 2, instead of just an A, a B, and a C correction, we could get the 1, 2, and the larger wave 3. That wave between 2 and 3 tends to be the largest wave. So we could just get a corrective move here, or we could get a larger, all the way back to the wave 4 DP here on the weekly chart, depending on where that wave 3 comes in. And we'll get a better idea once this move has finished. We'll be able to project the wave 3 down and see exactly where that comes in. So this is what we're watching. Maybe a little more buying into the end of the year. It's going to be tough because of the tax selling that's going on, and selling and then rebuying. Locking in the gains for this year for tax purposes. Because of the uncertainty of what next year is going to look like for tax-wise, the fiscal cliff, all that stuff kind of coming in. We've got Fed week here. This is, I think, the last Fed meeting of the year, with an announcement on interest rates on Wednesday, I believe it is, and so that may maybe give a little more clarity, or depending on what the Fed says, obviously no expected move in interest rates, but depending on what is said at the meeting afterwards and so forth, that could move the market. But we'll see. Any news coming out about this fiscal cliff, are they far apart? Are they getting closer together on some kind of compromise? All that will come into play, and I think that's what we've kind of seen, just going back to the daily chart here. This uncertainty here is what we anticipated. We just want to see, can, after this pattern has finished, can they get back to this wave 4 DP? If so, that will put us solidly in the weekly potential wave 2 area, and then we got to see, is the market now due for a bigger drop? We'll take a look at that as things continue to unfold here. Let's take a look next at, let's look at oil. Since I've got that chart up here, I'll just bring it in. Here's the monthly chart of oil. Back here was when oil hit that around the $150 level, and tanked off of there. So a significant high back here. Now we've corrected in this ABC correction on the weekly chart, you see. and they haven't been able to take that 120.17 area out since. And this goes back to May of 2011 is when this came in that month. Now, because this was a significant high and we had the first correction here, this could potentially be a big move down. But what happened is a little ABC formed again. You can see that's where this TS4 signal is here. And so that maybe puts a halt. If this had unfolded as a more impulsive move down, straighter down, maybe into the wave C target, then that would have been obviously a much stronger move, and we would anticipate maybe even more follow through beyond that. But because of this has unfolded now as another ABC pattern here, and we're getting into that, you can see the support area down here. Every time we've come down, we've talked about this $80, $85 area in oil for months and months now is held as support. And so we're kind of in that area. If we look at the weekly chart now, again, we've come off this, we've had these kind of double bottoms, triple bottoms, and we've rallied off of that. And we keep hitting this kind of $80 to $100 to $110 area. If they get beyond it, like they did here to the 120, it really reversed hard. So they haven't really been able to spend much time beyond the $110 level in oil. But you do have a buy signal here. Here's the major weekly support. Major monthly support. We haven't quite reached that down there. It's just below 80, right around that $75 level. That would be a major support. We could definitely rally off of this. In fact, there's because we have this level of support back here, we'll watch this area. There's a long setup here. It's not a standard trade setup. It's against the red STF. But it is off a kind of a major support in terms of these double bottom and triple bottom areas here. So you can see the initial target here just around $100. The typical wave 3 target would be another spike up kind of like we had back here. We'll see. It'll be interesting how this unfolds. But this oil would have to get to $87.02 to trigger this particular trade to the long side here. If this might take in, and let's say this trade fails, if they take out this, and what's ended up being a swing low here, if they take that out, I'd look at least for this $80. Worst case, if it gets down in this $75, this will be a major monthly support down here. All right, so we'll keep our eye on that one. And let's take a look at, let's look at the dollar index here. Again, the dollar coming off of this support area here was able to get a bit of a rally off that, has pulled back, is in some support again. If we look at the Elliott wave pattern, in a wave B here, we can project up wave C using the tools and the software. Oh, I missed that. Up. One more time. 1, 2, 3. So that takes us right around that 8150 level. There would be the next resistance. You'll have a little kind of overlapping resistance in that area, sort of between the 8150 and 82 level there. And then of course the bigger target from the weekly chart, here was our major bottom in the dollar, and that target is up at 85.33, and it's been a kind of a long choppy road to try to get the strength for the dollar to get up into that area. Hasn't made it yet, and it looks like we're going to be kind of stuck in a bit of a channel here but we did find some support there. We've pulled back into wave B, potentially heading in wave C. If we look at the euro, as the dollar was pulling back, the euro made a little bit of a move to the upside off of this support. And you can see, if I put the, if this comes up, well, let me do it from here. Like here's its wave B, and well, we'll call it 2 or B. This was a significant low in the fact, or in the sense that it was a wave 5 down. Again, we expect, if you go back, here's the last swing into the low, here's our wave 4. And then this is the weekly chart. Whoops, here's the weekly chart here. And there's the wave 4 target. But we'll see now, as if this is wave 2, let's project, or a wave B. We'll just project up that wave C using the tools in the software. And you see where the minimum wave C target is. We'll see if it can get up to that level, which would mean the dollar would pull back, but it looks to me like the dollar is trying to come off its wave B, heading into wave C. Again, it's probably going to get a little messy into the end of the year here, but you did have you had some blue buyers candle here, telling us that we're in a support area where the buyers are overcoming the sellers. So we'll see. Might spend some time in this area, and let's see if we can get a little more rally, and then eventually, if it can, been waiting for a while to see if they're able to hit this target up here. All right, so again, Fed meeting this week, and it should be an interesting week. Take it easy early in the week. Once we get the Fed meeting out of the way, maybe we get some moves. It's been an odd market. You can see all the consolidation on the daily chart there in the S&P, and it's been a difficult intraday environment, and I expect that that'll continue probably into the end of the year with maybe an upward bias, because we have that Hindenburg omen out there that's good till March 2013. That's just an omen or a sign that there could be a potential crash in the cards. That could happen at any time between now and then. So if it shouldn't be a surprise if the market just tanked and fell apart from here. It could happen, but I'm looking at maybe just getting that S&P to correct back to that wave 4 DP. That would put the weekly in a wave 2, a much more pattern or logical area to start any type of correction or crash from that area. So anyway, we'll wrap it up there. A little more, I guess, extended analysis, as it was a little more brief last week. So probably only a few more weekly market updates before I take a vacation into the last few weeks of the year. So I just wanted to cover a bunch of stuff there anyway in a little more detail. All right, so hope that was helpful, and we'll see you back again next week.